Hey everyone, today I'm going to be doing a bust of Darth Vader. There are 5 numbered bags of parts in total. Start with bag number 1. Okay, bag number 1 is just the start of the base and the lower half of Darth Vader's face. See, the base isn't really that big. Now, this will get, that's why we left this side open, so we could get this pin through there to restrain the bottom of this. Now that that's in there, that pin is in there, we can close out that side and that'll hold that in. Two hooks, 2 receiving parts. That allows this to sit at an angle. Now there was a small sticker sheet that came with the set. There's only 4 stickers total. Wish there were none, of course. And unfortunately, this is a rather unique part, this triangle here. But it needs a sticker, and the sticker is pretty much essential to the final look of this assembly, so we're going to put it on here. Triangular stickers, somewhat difficult to get aligned properly. So I'm going to go from the flat side and go up. This has a receiving element for this hook down at the bottom. We'll see, this can rotate. I'll leave it down for now. This sits right in there. I'm guessing this will tip up. Well, that's the end of bag number 1. A little formless at the moment. It'll start to look more like Darth Vader after the second bag here. Let's just get right into bag number 2. All right, 2 more stickers. They're mirror images of each other. Close enough, maybe. Okay, now we've got the stickers on. Looks okay, I guess. Now it's starting to look recognizable. Now there's 2 hinges that are buried in there. That allows these to sit at the angle they need to form his mouthpiece. There's definitely what seems like a random assortment of parts going into this assembly here. And I think I mentioned it before, I think the Lego designers do this on purpose in order to get a variety of parts in a set, especially when the end result is going to look monochromatic. That way when you take this apart, you have all these nice different shapes and different colors to add to your collection. But none of this will be visible. Oh, interesting. So here's something a bit unique, I guess, for construction. It's something to consider when you're doing your own build. Round element, small hole in it, and one of these studs that has just a little, I don't know what to call it, just a little stump on the end. That allows this part to be installed upside down over that pin. And that will now allow things to be attached to that going up. Or it could just sit like flat like that. Well, we're not done this part yet, but we're going to mate it with the lower half of bag number 1. This should sit over top. Press that down. Now it's starting to look like the front of Darth Vader. The reason for putting on there is to affix that center Technic rod with a pin here, and then we're going to bury everything together. Go right through the middle. Oh no, it goes right through this outer edge here. Now we can close up this side. Yeah, like that. Should be a hook down here. That's just perfect. Okay. This goes here. And because of the ball joint, I can tip it down so that it's pretty close to touching the top of that one. And this all black, it's hard to see, but now this goes on the back like that. See if I can push this in without messing up the front. Oh, that's a bit of a snug fit. That's the end of bag number 2. So we have the lower half of Darth Vader's face. We're missing the eyes, but we got the mouth. We got some good detail on the sides here. Some interesting construction techniques to do that. I'd say it's actually looking pretty good so far, and there's still 3 bags of parts left to go. So bag number 3 looks like it's just an extension of the infrastructure of the head, so that we'll have something for the helmet to attach to. There's a surprising amount of color in this bag of parts. Again, as I mentioned previously, all of this color is going to get buried, because the final build only shows black pieces. Still, it's nice to have a variety of parts, shapes, and colors in a set like this. Now there's a hook here for some attachment later. And 2 more hooks. So we have 2 green rods, and they go into these blue hooks. They just stand vertical like that. Oh, and there's a red, it's one of these red parts at the bottom where the rod gets pushed into. Didn't realize that, so I gotta push that right in. Now the last sticker in the set goes on this small part right here. It's a very tiny sticker. Best I can do. Okay, so that bends up like that. This is going to click into here. Rotate it down. Oh, and it becomes the top part of his mask. It's pretty cool. Now this forms one of the eyes, and that's what these green rods are for. This hook is going to go onto that green rod. It's pretty effective. It looks like an eye. A couple more green rods here. I'll have to remember some of this construction, because I'm sure those will be attachment points later. And a bunch of side-facing studs, which of course will be used for attachment points later. There we go, that's the end of bag number 3. So we put the eyes in and then built up the top of the head to receive the helmet. A little bit of interesting construction in there for all the attachment points. Right, time for bag number 4. Actually, it turns out bag number 4 is just the top of the head. Bag number 5 must be the two sides. So let's build the top of the helmet. As expected, this construction is pretty symmetrical. So you can see how the Lego parts are staggered as you go up, and that's to give it the illusion of curvature when you don't have actual curved pieces. It goes right here. Looks like he's got a toupee right now. This goes into these hooks down below. There's some hooks in there. And that allows that to have a slight amount of rotation. Now this is the back of the helmet. Give it a good squeeze. Try not to pop anything off. Kind of a weird assembly. This goes on the front. There we go. Oh, so that frames over his eye like that. There we go. Frames in the other eye. Right. This one goes on the right-hand side. So there's a couple of receiving hooks in there. This should just attach the front. And this one attaches here. So they can be pushed in at an angle. Two more hooks in there. Just snaps in there. Well, that looks really effective. Kind of frames in the eyes a little bit more. That is the end of bag number 4. Time for bag number 5. Going to finish this off. Put the two sides on and whatever goes on the back here. Let's get to it. Well, a bit of a surprise. A printed nameplate. And as expected, almost 100% black parts, few colored parts. Well, there's one side. Nothing too remarkable, just the usual construction technique for making something look a little bit curved by staggering the joints or the levels of the studs. Just goes here. Now they blended that in nicely over that corner transition there. Yeah. Okay, so there's that assembly. This will get attached into there. And that's as far as it rotates. So that does the bottom flare out of the helmet. Now we'll do the same thing on the other side. Same construction, just mirrored. Squeeze that on there. Okay, second assembly. Right, that's the last major assembly, the back of the helmet. That goes into here and rotates ever so slightly. Well, there we go. I think that looks really good. I was a bit concerned when I started building it initially because it looks so small, but it's definitely a lot bigger now that the helmet's done. Very symmetrical construction. Of course, all the details on the front with the face. It was a bit of interesting construction to get some of the attachment points. And honestly, it's actually really solid. There's a few delicate areas like these mouth pieces down here and some of the rotating pieces underneath. But for the most part, I mean, you can really just grab onto this like a football. I do really like how the eyes were done. Like say the way some of these attachments go on to allow them to sit at angles, it was actually very clever. This will look nice on display for a while. Well, that's it. Thank you so much for watching this build. Let me know what you think of it in the comments below. I will think of something new to do for next week.